An undersized guard who scored at will and fiercely defended bigger players with grit and determination. Iverson led the NBA in scoring, but the Raptors had defeated Philly in their last 3 regular season meetings. Toronto, still basking in the energy of their upset of the Knicks, would be expecting to steal a home court advantage from the Sixers. Game 1 of the 2001 Eastern Conference semifinal is next.
All right, Allen Iverson throwing in. Eric Snow, Dikembe Mutombo. And it's a travel. So the Raptors take over. Chris Childs, played by Eric Snow. Allen Iverson guarding Alvin Williams. And here's Oakley, kept alive by Davis. We are just underway in Philadelphia. Oakley saw the Raptors with a 2-0 lead.
See, Mark, both teams initially going inside, trying to get their offense started around the basket before their perimeter guys launch jump shots.
Alvin Williams opening up on Allen Iverson. Snow lost it. Williams has a 2-on-1. Oh, he lost the handle, but recovered by Davis.
Oh, great hustle that time by Alvin Williams. You can already see Toronto, one of their strengths, if they can create turnovers and get in that open court, they want to get easy scores. They want to run the basketball on every occasion.
Raptors with a 4-0 lead. Here's the double on Iverson.
They got to keep him off that baseline. They want him shooting jump shots, keep him off that foul line, make him work for every shot that he gets.
Allen did not have a good shooting game in the finale against Indiana Wednesday night, but came on strong. Carter way off on his first shot. Iverson for 3. And deflected out by Oakley. Iverson getting the pick from Mutombo.
Well, that's a very positive sign. When Iverson's jumper is going, Marv, you got to get up and play him. Then he creates all kinds of opportunities and havoc for his opponent when he penetrates that lane, gets to the free throw line.
Carter now played by Lynch.
2 tough shots by Carter to start this game. I think he really needs to get something easy.
Snow able to beat Childs off the dribble. Chris Childs coming off a standout series against his former team, the New York Knicks. Davis way off.
Got to be prepared for that, Marv. You know Mutombo's going to be in there to block shots. If he's ready, he'll get that open jump shot.
Iverson. And he's fouled by Williams. Alvin Williams took the baseline away, but Iverson was able to throw up that step-back jumper.
He's so lightning quick that when you do make that stop, he can step back and get that quick release, Marv, you always speak about. And one of the things you don't want to do is foul him shooting a jump shot. If you're going to foul him, you've got to make him pay. When he goes to that basket, take hard fouls, maybe wear him down as the game goes on.
So Iverson with all 5 of the 76er points. Sixers with a 6-4 lead. We've played 3 minutes. George Lynch is an outstanding defensive player. Carter forcing the issue. And Iverson Chases it now, could not get to it. Claiming that it was last touched by Childs. That's why he put the brakes on, and Allen Iverson appealing to the outside official, Bernie Fryer, and gets the call.
Well, Lenny Wilkins not happy about that at all. Allen Iverson, when he didn't get to the ball, made it appear that the ball was touched. Now, we don't know whether that occurred, Marv, but if it didn't, a great job by Iverson to bait the official into that call.
Iverson has come out firing.
Well, the 3 days rest has done Allen Iverson wonders. His legs are fresh, off to a magnificent start.
Iverson 3 of 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from the line. Open shot for Carter for 3.
Vince Carter, terrific three-point shooter on the season, shot 41%, so very confident, sometimes too confident. He lives behind that three-point line. I think it hurts him in many aspects.
Philadelphia with an 8-7 lead. Iverson rejected by Davis. Carter, nice pass, and Antonio Davis fouled by George Lynch.
When Larry Brown spoke to us before the game, one of his concerns was turnovers. If we turn the ball over, Toronto's immediately going to run back against us, and Toronto's big men run well. Antonio Davis runs the floor nicely. Keon Clark, Oakley will trail and shoot that little jump shot, so that's a big part of their game.
Antonio Davis, the starting center for the East, this year's All-Star game. So the Raptors lead 9-8.
One of your biggest concerns here, Marv, is if Iverson does so much of this early, will the team start deferring to him? Larry Brown talked to us before the game. He wants everybody involved.
Foul on Charles Oakley. One of that final game of the Indiana series, Iverson taking too many shots in the first half, and he was not on target, and then the offense was changed in the second half.
Well, Larry Brown does not mind him taking shots. He just does not want him to take quick shots, or he doesn't want his team standing around and watching Allen play.
So the ball back to the Raptors.
And Larry Brown, you see, does not like those turnovers. You got to get shots at the basket.
So,
turnovers.
Okay. Okay. Welcome to the First Union Center in Philadelphia. Game one of this best of seven between the Raptors and the 76ers already underway. Marv Albert with Doug Collins, Chris Reichert, A very fast start for Allen Iverson. The Sixers have a 12-11 lead. Iverson with 8 points, 3 of 6 from the field. Vince Carter has hit a 3 for his only field goal. 5.5 remaining in this first quarter. George Lynch called for that foul. Lynch defending on Carter here at the start. For Lynch, it's his second, and a timeout is called by Toronto. Now the Raptors with a 47-win season. They stunned the Knicks in that 5-game series, capped off by the win in New York on Friday night. And Vince Carter, following some playoff difficulties, able to come up very big in games 4 and 5. Mutombo able to recover. And here's Aaron McKee, who just checked in. Iverson with a beautiful tip to Mutombo.
If you want to look for some keys in this series, both of these teams are great offensive rebounding teams. So who can get second shots? Who can prevent that? You're going to see turnovers, a big key for Philadelphia. They already have 7 as Antonio Davis with a screen and roll. And when Larry Brown talked to us before the game, he said, I know they're going to come at us with a lot of screen rolls. We're going to have to be able to help Dikembe when he shows up big on that weak side. That time it was not there. But three-point shooting for the Raptors. The Sixers not a good three-point shooting team, so just a few things to look at here early.
Iverson lost his balance. Sixers do get back Alvin Williams, who had a terrific series against the Knicks. Local product, grew up in the Philadelphia area out of Villanova. And Alvin Williams has given the Raptors a 1-point lead. Against
Indiana, Philadelphia averaged 11 turnovers in the series, already 8 today. Not a good sign for the Sixers.
Three-guard offense being used by the 76ers with Snow, McKee, and Iverson, along with Hill and Mutombo. Here's McKee with that shot clock running down. He had to fire it, and it's a 24-second violation.
Allen Iverson leads the NBA in steals. He's so quick. That time he reads the shot. He should get a rebound and an assist on that play. All in one motion, just tips it to Dikembe Mutombo, and those are the kind of baskets that Mutombo's going to get. He's not a primary offensive player. He's going to get on the offensive board, and he's going to feed off Allen Iverson drawing double teams.
Matt Geiger has come on, replacing Tyrone Hill. Here's Charles Oakley. Now, Charles Oakley and Tyrone Hill have not had what would be termed a wonderful relationship. Reportedly, Tyrone Hill is Mutombo is able to hit, but it won't count. Offensive foul. The basket does not count.
Shot's going to go up, and again, Mutombo, who averaged almost 5 offensive rebounds against Indiana, tries to gather himself. The officials ruled that he used his chest to dislodge and get the offensive foul. 9 turnovers now ready for the 76ers as Carter coughs it up.
McKee with a good play on the strip. Good hustle by Williams to get it back.
Now, Larry Brown cannot like this, Marv. Double-digit turnovers already, and Toronto loves to get out on open court and run and take advantage of those.
Mutombo for Iverson, and he pushes it down. Here's Eric Snow, rebounded by Oakley, getting back to the Hill-Oakley situation. Reportedly, Tyrone owing Charles Oakley a sum of money, which Charles has not appreciated. It is Toronto ball as we resume. 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Nice pass, and Antonio Davis puts it down. So Davis has 8 points.
Again, the high screen and roll, Mutombo shows up. They throw quickly to the weak side, and nobody's helping back when the man rolls to the basket. Antonio Davis has 2 scores off that same play.
Raptors up by 3. Here's Iverson. Once again, a quick shot by the 76ers. In the season series, Toronto took 3 of 4 against Philadelphia. Chris Childs not able to hit from downtown. The Raptors winning here in Philly in overtime and won both games at Air Canada Center. Iverson is headed to the line. Allen Iverson had a 51-point game and a 38-point game against Toronto. The Sixers lost the game when Iverson scored 51 in that game. Carter had 39.
Well, Marv, also, too, it's a different team right now. We talked to Larry Brown. He said they have changed their team. It's a more an athletic team, Toronto. They've added Keon Clark. Chris Childs is now the starting point guard. Alvin Williams, who was playing point guard, is now overplaying 2. Vince Carter has slid down and played the small forward, so they have changed their roster. The most important thing for Toronto, they're much more athletic. They have more speed. When they come off that bench with Keon Clark and Jerome Williams, those are some high-energy players.
Raptors went 47-35 in the regular season, the number 5 seed. And then in the opening round of the playoffs, beat the Knicks in 5. The Knicks had swept them last year in the opening round. Oakley not able to locate the touch. Here comes Kevin Ollie, who had just checked in. Matt Geiger going way off glass. Matt looking for the Tim Duncan effect, but was a little too strong.
You know, it's interesting with Matt Geiger. This is a guy who has made his living in this league, doing all the dirty work, doing all the rebounding, setting screens, not being a primary offensive player. And for some reason in Philadelphia, he wants to score, and that's where he gets himself in trouble. They want him to defend and rebound, Marv. The scoring is something, you know, that they'll take on the extra, but that's not his forte.
Carter going behind the back to set it up. I asked a couple of the Raptor players, did Charles Oakley have anything to say at all to try to prod Vince Carter into bringing to another level once again, as he did against the Knicks. Started that series dreadfully, 5 for 22, and he had his problems in the past against the Knicks and came on with breakout games. Iverson, so the Raptors now lead by 2. Games 4 and 5. Carter was magnificent. The shot selection was better, looking for other people, and that's what the Raptors would like to see again in this series.
And Marv, what he did too, when the game was in the balance, he made all the big plays. He made a big play off an offensive rebound. Then he found Alvin Williams for a jump shot that really sealed the deal.
Good play by Davis. Oakley. Charles has been off, and a foul is called as Mutombo put Carter aside.
We are seeing some spectacular plays. Vince Carter, look at this move behind the back, but this is what he does. He creates distance, he fades away. That's a very difficult shot, but he can make that. Iverson's got some very fresh legs today. 3 days rest, he's got bounce in his step. See him elevating there. I think with the 76ers right now too, Marv, I think what you're seeing is they're a little bit anxious. They've had days off. I expect them to play better as the game goes along.
And that last foul changed to Geiger rather than Mutombo. A reminder, you can log on to MSNBCSports.com for in-depth NBA playoff coverage. You can email Bill Walton your playoff questions and check out his latest mailbag on the hottest postseason topics, all at MSNBCSports.com. Kevin Ollie not able to hang on, lost it, out of bounds.
Well, Philadelphia is very fortunate. They're only down 4 points, Marv. Double-figure turnovers. Iverson's gotten off to a great start, but his teammates have been very shaky here to begin game 1 of this second round.
That was turnover number 11 for the Sixers. We're down to 20 seconds in the first. Carter and Mutombo able to sweep it.
Now, Mutombo is a much better rebounder than Theo Ratliff. Surprisingly, not as good a shot blocker, but a much better defensive rebounder.
Final seconds of the first. Iverson giving it up to Ollie. So Lenny Wilkins and the Raptors have to be very pleased with the way they've come out in this first quarter. Toronto with a 21-17 lead. Vince Carter, 7 points. Antonio Davis has 8. Capacity crowd better than 20,000 here at First Union Center. The finale of our NBC playoff tripleheader earlier today. Milwaukee knocked off Charlotte 104-92. Lakers winning at home against Sacramento 108-105. Raptors with a 21-17 lead on the Sixers with this second quarter getting underway. Keon Clark has come in for Toronto for the first time, as has Del Curry. The veteran Del Curry receiving additional playoff playing time during the playoffs. And Keon Clark showing us the jump shot, which he's been allowed to display since coming over to Toronto.
Well, he's playing with such confidence. You can see Lenny Wilkins believes in him. He comes in the game, first time he touches the ball, he takes that little medium-range jump shot.
Mutombo with the sweeping hook. Clark on the rebound. Keon Clark, who came over from the Denver Nuggets in his 3rd season out of UNLV. Carter able to put it down. Jermaine Jones, who had just checked in for the Sixers, now defending on Carter, and Jones dug with a gamble, and it cost.
Early offense once again for the Raptors. They're 8-1 in fast break points. That quick play there by Carter, not a fast break, but early offense and an easy score.
Mutombo gets the new 24. Mutombo dumps it off to Jones, and Jermaine Jones will shoot 2.
These are the kind of baskets you want to take away from Vince Carter. The ability to get to that basket and get the dunk, albeit over to Dikembe Mutombo, was not an easy play. Jerome Williams reacts. Mr. Energy off the bench, the junkyard dog. We'll see him later. But Vince Carter, you want him to be a jump shooter, no layups or dunks. Keep him off that free throw line. And if he's going to get 25 points, you want him to take 25 shots.
Jermaine Jones, a 76% free throw shooter during the regular season in his 2nd year out of, way off the mark. Jones out of the University of Georgia, originally a 2nd-round pick of Atlanta, and has been getting the playing time as this season has progressed, in particular in the playoffs. 1.5 minutes gone by in the 2nd quarter. And a Sixer foul called by Bernie Fryer. It's on Tyrone Hill, his first. The officials, Bernie Fryer, Jack Neese, and Louis Grillo. Tyrone Hill is back on the floor. It should be pointed out Charles Oakley is not. Here comes McKee. This is Jones. Iverson now guarded by Carter. Gives it up. And here's Jones. Yes.
That's what Larry Brown wants to see, the extra pass. If they're going to gamble to stop Iverson, make the extra pass, we'll get open shots. That's what they did against Indiana when Indiana tried to send double and triple teams at it.
Del Curry with that beautiful quick release. Del is 36 years old in his 15th season out of Virginia Tech, and says at his age and with the years that he's played in the NBA, he's auditioning for the Wizards.
I knew that was coming. How did I know that was coming from you?
I think Del will be an excellent piece out of the reunion tour.
Oh, my.
Oh, Jones way off. Here's Carter with room. Yes.
Again, Mark, when you push the ball up the floor, guys have a difficult time finding their man. And when you move the basketball, you'll get open shots. That is Larry Brown's concern. That's not a fast break basket, but that is flowing into early offense. Carter spots up again. He's a 41% three-point shooter. He buries it. Raptors off to a great start.
Walking into Madison Square Garden Friday night and knocking off the Knicks. Toronto in the midst of a 10-2 run the last 3.5 minutes. That goes back to the first quarter, and they lead it by 10. Antonio Davis a little deeper than he is accustomed to. Iverson met by Clark, and now Childs. Chris Childs has had problems with Allen Iverson, as have many opposing guards around the NBA. And that foul on Childs, his second.
Well, he comes at you with such speed, and you know, he had that devastating crossover. Now, you don't see that as often because the referee started calling that as a palming violation, but he has that ability to come at you and change direction. And then Marvin, with his size, he can fade away and take body contact and still get that shot off. And you can see what he's done on the season. He's had a magnificent year. He's a great choice for the MVP. It could very well be voted that in, but his numbers, and he did miss 11 games this year with a myriad of injuries, but he has bounced back. He looks very fresh here today.
This about the freshest that I have seen him in some time, because he has taken some pretty good hits during the course of the season, and he just keeps coming back. How about Del Curry from downtown? He now has 5 points, and the Raptors lead at 32-20. And with Curry getting playing time, Mo Peterson is a good-looking rookie who played well during the regular season, took over in the starting lineup, but has not played much in the playoffs. Here's McKee. And a loose ball foul. It's on the Raptors.
Del Curry, you give him this kind of shot, wide open, he's going to make 7 of 10 of those. And Marv, as we watch this game, you talk about the little strategy that occurs, and what Lenny Wilkens wants to be able to do is run his shooters off screens where Mutombo's man is setting the screen. So what happens is Mutombo does not want to show up, so when you come off that screen, you're going to get an open look. So you're going to see them involve things. Nobody knows nobody knows Mutombo better than Lenny Wilkens, who coached him in Atlanta. He knows his defensive tendencies, and he's going to try to use that against him now in this series.
Eric Montross has checked in for the first time for the Raptors, and a good play by Montross to break it up. Montross had a good game earlier this season against Philadelphia with 11 rebounds. Carter off now. Mutombo able to collar it. Eric Montross hearing some boos here in the crowd. He played for the 76ers for a brief period of time. Here's McKee, and the 76ers way off in this first half.
Taking tough shots right now. Aaron McKee's such a good player, but normally shoots a high percentage because he takes such good shots. There's Carter once again, that early offense. That time Mutombo was switched on him, and he just takes that little fadeaway jump shot. Dikembe looking over at Larry Brown like, Coach, we need some answers here. We're not able to stop this team. A 14-point lead.
The 76ers 8 of 25 from the field, and Aaron McKee with his first bucket. He missed his previous 5. McKee and Snow not able to get into it. Raptors 34, the Sixers 22 with 6:45 remaining in the first half. Alvin Williams.
Again, did you see the side that he went out on? He went out on Mutombo's side. Montross is setting the screen, and Dikembe is not going to show. They know that's there, so they can get the jump shot coming off his screen.
Alvin Williams, born and raised in Philadelphia, star at Germantown Academy, played 4 years at Villanova. Iverson with a nice play going at Williams. Mutombo not able to click on the 10. That's a backcourt violation. Tyrone Hill, well, he saw a white jersey, but McKee was in the backcourt.
You can see when Allen Iverson penetrates to the basket, all people are going to try to help, and it frees up offensive rebounds. But when you get Carter that kind of space and distance, he's going to make a very high percentage. And the thing I like about Vince Carter, he's not just setting for that outside jump shot. He's running the floor, he's getting in the lane. And Philadelphia, 13 turnovers already, and Marv, only 11 in the series against Indiana they averaged.
Del Curry with that lightning quick release. He hit a couple earlier.
It's going to be the 14th turnover. It's going to be an offensive foul on Tyrone Hill as he backs into Montross trying to post on his early offense. So you can see what Larry Brown has done. He has recognized that Tyrone Hill has not played well against Oakley. So when Keon Clark came in the game, he brought him in, but that has not been the answer either. Keon Clark has done a nice job.
14th turnover for the Sixers. Good hustle by Hill.
Well, great stars carry their teams. For Philadelphia, it's Allen Iverson. For Toronto, it's Vince Carter. And he's gotten off to a great start. I like it. He's mixing his game up. He's spotting up, shooting the open jump shot, putting it on the floor, creating a shot against a very good defensive player in Aaron McKee. Then getting in that post. Early offense, he gets a score. Fading jump shot against Mutombo, who they transition did not match up. And he is so vital to this team. And after the third game of the first round, Charles Oakley put the heat on him, said, "You're our guy, you got to carry us," and he did. His field goal percentage went up, his 3 points, his scoring. More importantly, he made big plays, Marv. In that Game 5 in New York, he had a big 3 late, offensive rebound for a score, and then he found Alvin Williams for, I thought, the shot that sealed the game in that series.
Here's Curry for 3. Nice save. Good hustle by Montross, and last touched by Snow. Charles Oakley was reacting to Vince Carter saying, well, hey, I can't do it by myself. You know, I need help from the guys. And Charles says, hey, this is the guy that went to the Olympics. It's the guy who was featured in so many commercials. It's the guy who's getting the big salary. Well, you have to pick it up. And obviously he did touch a nerve.
But that's good, though. You want that, you know, when it comes from the coach, Marv, it's viewed as criticism, and there's that speed once again at Toronto. They're just beating the 76ers big men down the floor. But and I've always said when it comes from a coach consistently, it's criticism. But when it comes from a player or a peer, it's leadership. You've got to listen to your team. I think the important thing is that the message is delivered the right way. Oak goes up to Vince and tells him what he wants to do, and the importance, don't let the media be the messenger. I think that's the most important thing with that, Marv.
Well, in this case, don't you think the media was
no
part of the
question.
message? And we were talking about with Lenny Wilkins, even though Lenny had a different approach with Vince Carter, he said, hey, he didn't mind.
Right. But I've always felt like, though, if you've got something to say to your teammate, go up and talk to him in private. You be the guy to talk to him. I think you're more inclined to receive it in a better way.
With Charles, though, it is, he's firing away. Sometimes he's right on. As Aaron McKee knocks it down, and the Raptors now lead 37-24. So Charles is on and he's off. This time he happened to be right on target.
Yeah. He was very right. And Vince responded.
Although Charles does speak with truth serum. You may not want to hear some of the things he says. Oh, Keon Clark wanted to take Todd McCullough with him. McKee tells Hill to get out of the way, looking to clear it out, then draws the double. Here's Hill, stripped and fouled.
The NBA is such a game of matchups. Toronto, very seldom do you ever see Eric Montross in the game. The great play here by Clark as McCullough comes over to deliver, but was not able to score on this play. It looked like a foul that went unnoticed, but Eric Montross has played well against Philly. He's played well against Mutombo, McCullough, Tyrone Hill, the front line. So as a coach, you recognize that, and instead of putting Jerome Williams in as a substitute, you come with Eric Montross. That's how matchups work in the playoffs, and that's how you do your bench.
Eric Montross, playing for the first time in the 2001 playoffs, did not face the Knicks in the opening round series. Sixers now 4 for 9 at the line.
See, Jerome Williams was brought into the game. Lenny Wilkins told us that when they went to Glenn Rice as a power forward, I already had in my mind I was coming out with Oakley and I was going in with Jerome Williams, so that worked to our advantage. Today it's Montross instead of Jerome Williams because the Knicks have a small front line.
Now George Lynch checks back in, replacing Tyrone Hill, who sits down with 5 points. And a timeout is being called for, 20-second timeout. All right, Chris, Alvin Williams has come along very, very strongly in the second half of the season, taking over as the starting point guard. And Vince Carter with 15 points, 6 for 13 from the field.
That was a difficult shot, Marv. He had to go on the dribble, pull up, and loft it over the top of the defensive man.
Oh, Iverson off a beautiful lead from Snow. So the 76ers now trail 39-27. The low for the season for the 76ers, a 28-point half against Phoenix back in late March. They have 27 right here. It's been a very poor performance thus far. Keon Clark. Todd McCullough fell down. Here's Del Curry. Montross able to reach for it, and Montross done a nice job. Also picks up an assist as he got it to Carter. 17 for Vince Carter.
Well, in the first round, the Raptors, when they got on that offensive boards, they really hurt New York, and that's an extra shot, a three-point play that time by Carter. So second shot's vital to Toronto.
Reach-in foul on McCullough.
This is a shot that I was talking about with Carter. Actually looked like he got away with a little movement of his feet there, but he pulled up and did not get the offensive foul. And then Eric Montross with a great hustle play. Carter steps back and buries the jump shot. He has been so active, and when that jump shot is going for him, you got to get real nervous because now you got to get up and crowd him, and now he can beat you off that dribble and get to the basket, create all kinds of problems for your front line.
Dikembe Mutombo has checked back in, replacing Todd McCullough. Alvin Williams from downtown, he has 9 points, and the Raptors now lead 44-27. Toronto shooting at 48% from the field. The 76ers just 30 73%. Doug, obviously Larry Brown has to live and die with Allen Iverson and that philosophy of play. A lot of quick shots, obviously a lot of shots, but in this instance today, Iverson was hot at the start, then has cooled off, but can he take the rest of the club out of their game by taking so many shots early?
Marv, I think it's important that he takes his shots, but if it's all jump shots, it's not good because then they don't get any second shots. When he's driving and creating, what happens is everybody, all the defense comes over to give help. Now you got guys on the offensive board, you get stick back. So when you see Toronto's philosophy, what they're doing is keep him in front of us, make him a jump shooter, shoot a low percentage, and give Philadelphia no second shots and keep him off the free throw line. The offensive rebounds and the free throw line is what beat the Indiana Pacers in the first round.
You could project Iverson's philosophy to other young players who have that kind of talent. Of course, Shaquille wouldn't appreciate it, but Kobe Bryant could be doing the same, and the same for Tracy McGrady, and you wonder what would that do for their team. You couldn't do it in L.A., obviously.
No, but see, when I coached Michael Jordan early in his career, he was our primary scorer. He had to take a lot of shots. And when he'd go to the basket, Charles Oakley was on that team. He was one of the better offensive rebounders. He averaged 16 a game just by getting on the offensive boards.
Now, how will your approach change next year with Michael?
And you know, you are relentless.
All right, here's Carter for three. I can't help myself.
I know that.
And a foul is called. It's a reach in. It's on Del Curry.
Believe me, I'll be the happiest man in the world if he plays, so I'll worry about that. And I'll be the first one to call you and let you know what's going to happen the minute he tells me he's going to play.
We've been the entire staff, trying to help you with various personnel moves that I know you're tinkering with.
Well, I know you gave me the philosophy, though, when I first met you, that you're with me win or tie, so
Absolutely.
I know exactly where you're coming from.
All right, here's Eric Snow with 2:24 remaining in this first half, and the Raptors up by 14 points.
See, Marv, I think it's so important right now. Toronto has played a great first half. They've got Philadelphia into a half-court game. Nobody else is really involved. They have a 13-point lead. There's 2 minutes and 20-plus seconds. They do not want to let Philadelphia make a run. Listen how quiet it is in here. They've taken the crowd out of the game.
Vince Carter has had a magnificent first half. Off the spin, nearly coughed it up. Curry for three. Del Curry has come off the bench to hit two from downtown. He has 8 points in all. Del Curry in his prime, one of the game's premier pure shooters. In fact, he's still Charlotte's all-time leading scorer and among the all-time leaders in three-point shooting.
Isn't it amazing when a guy gets the ball? You knew this shot was going in. It was a broken play. Philadelphia cannot get there. He gets that kind of look. That's two wide open shots. And again, I said he's going to make 7 out of 10 of those shots. So Del Curry has come in. Here's a guy who didn't do much in the first series. And now he's doing a great job because Vince Carter's off to a great start. Philadelphia's trying to help. You create shots for him, and he's delivered.
Foul was called on Carter. Raptors over the limit, so McKee at the line. Aaron McKee has had another stellar season. What a big shot guy this fella has been. Aaron McKee bailing out the 76ers on a number of occasions this season.
I had a chance to coach Aaron, and what a great guy to have on your team. He's all about winning. He's a guy that will come off the bench. He'll defend people. He'll make shots. And when Allen Iverson was hurt and he started those 4 games, he scored over 20 points per game. So he has the ability to put points on the board for you.
Good play by Jones to keep it alive, and then Mutombo tripped up. Foul on Antonio Davis. That's his second. So Dikembe Mutombo will go to the line, a 73% free throw shooter. It's been a season of awards for Dikembe, the Defensive Player of the Year, earlier today receiving the J. Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award, presented by the Professional Basketball Writers Association. Reminder, playoff action continues tomorrow night.
The award named in honor of the former NBA commissioner annually recognizes an NBA player.
So Phil Jasner, Philadelphia sports writer, making the presentation to Dikembe Mutombo. Tomorrow night, game 2 between the Mavericks and the Spurs. Coverage beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Offensive foul Foul on Alvin Williams.
Watch the left arm here of Alvin Williams. Oh, nice little play by Allen Iverson there. He really flopped on that play, got the referee's attention. Got a big call now as Philadelphia's trying to claw back and cut into this lead.
Minute and a half remaining in the first half. Iverson with the step. And Childs able to rebound. He thought he was fouled.
And he's also so wide open. He goes, where's the help? He's looking around like, who's coming over to block my shot? Never does he get those kind of looks.
Chris Childs had a terrific series against his former team. The Knicks playoff career high 25 in game 4 in Toronto. Alvin Williams from way downtown. And back comes Snow. 76ers back on the transition and a foul on Davis. What a move by Snow, who's been playing hurt. He's about 75% according to Larry Brown, but that was a pretty good change of pace and then the acceleration.
He's such a big part of their team. I thought when he moved to the point guard position, Allen Iverson slid over and played the scoring guard. He really solidified their backcourt. He can play bigger guys, allow Allen Iverson sometimes to rest defensively, to roam around, to go for steals. That's why Allen Iverson leads the NBA in steals. That's a smart play by Eric Snow. Don't settle for the jump shot. You're 0 for 3. Drive it in there, get to the foul line. More importantly, I think that's a third foul on Antonio Davis, so he had to sit down.
And the Sixers continue to have their problems at the line. They are 12 for 19 at the foul line. Iverson only 1 of 7 from the field in the second half. Raptors have led by as many as 17. They were up 44-27. It's now a 12-point game. Oh, Iverson tried to pick up the foul.
He got one of those. He's not going to get two that quickly back to back.
Carter now played by McKee. Here's Carter for 3. Iverson met by Carter. Rejected by Carter. And you can see Allen Iverson felt that he was fouled. Onto the floor. Allen Iverson a moment ago rejected by Vince Carter. Iverson has 16 points on 16 shots, but he's 5 for 16 and has been off in the second quarter.
Let's see if Larry Brown tries to get a quick shot here, maybe 3 or 4 seconds to get a 2-for-1 possession to end the half.
Here's Iverson over Montross. Good play by Eric Montross coming over, and he altered that shot.
Montross done a nice job since he's come in, a big body. He's kept Mutombo off the boards, got some defensive boards, got a big offensive rebound for a second shot for Carter.
4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Childs just did graze the rim, but Montross on the rebound, but threw it away. Here comes Iverson setting it up for Jones, and a hard foul. Is that a flagrant? Let's see. A hard foul. Sixers asking for the flagrant, and they will get it.
See, these are the kind of plays that will turn a game. You're struggling, you're not into it emotionally. Childs goes up, gives the hard foul, so now it's going to be 2 free throws plus possession. So Marv, they can get this to single digits here. Tough foul by Childs. And yesterday we saw the unfortunate play when Derek Anderson was taken down by Juwan Howard's shoulder separation out 3 to 6 weeks, which could change San Antonio's entire fortune, through the playoffs.
Dane Jones shake it up, but all right, and very calmly hits the 2 free throws.
Well, Toronto once led by 17. It's now a 10-point game, 4 seconds to go. You get a deuce, you get a 3, it's in single digits, and if you're Larry Brown, you'd have to feel pretty good about that because your team has not played well.
And now this crowd back into it, 4 seconds left in the half. Rodney Buford has come on for the Sixers for the first time. This is Buford with it. And an offensive foul. The 76ers with a late rally. They've scored the last 6 points. The last 10 76er points have come from the free throw line. That happened in the Indiana series. In fact, Isaiah Thomas very upset with the officiating of that particular ball game here.
Well, Philadelphia needs to get to that free throw line. Now you see Todd McCullough all over the ball here. The point guard, Chris Childs, trying to take it in. He wants to disrupt his vision.
All right, here's the throw from Childs. And the Sixers able to break it up. That would have counted. So that's the end of the first half. Welcome back to First Union Center, Philadelphia. The Raptors led by as many as 17. It's now a 10-point advantage at halftime as the 76ers finished the second quarter with a 10-3 run. They scored the last 6 points of the quarter. Allen Iverson only 1 for 9 from the field. In the second quarter, Philadelphia just 4 for 20 overall in that second quarter, but they did hit 12 from the foul line. And in the first half, Sixers 11 for 37. That's under 30%, 29.7 shooting. And the Raptors at 43% on 19 of 44. Iverson with 16 points and Carter with 17. Chris Childs starts out against Eric Snow. Vince Carter being played by George Lynch. And here's Davis. Iverson and Snow in the backcourt. Hill up front with Mutombo and Lynch. No foul was called. A couple of bodies went flying. Here's Tyrone Hill. Alvin Williams able to take that lead pass, but it was a nice recovery by Iverson to knock it away. Last touch by Williams. There's a wide receiver going downfield. Opening minute, third quarter. Marv Albert with Doug Collins from Philadelphia. Iverson, yes. So Iverson 1 for his previous 9, able to hit, and the Raptor lead is down to 8. I do want to point out as a foul is called, Doug Collins is still with us. We're having a little microphone problem. Doug, you want to test it? Let's see. Apparently still some technical difficulties. You see, when I'm working with the czar, Mike Fratello, we root for these type of situations. Substitution, Aaron McKee over at the scorer's table. And the official, Louis Grillo, was waving him on and then waves it off. Carter played by Lynch. Larry Brown has been switching up on Vince Carter. Here's Childs for 3. And on the back tap, controlled by the Raptors. Alvin Williams. Nice play by Snow, reaching in to knock it away. And here comes Iverson. 2-on-1. Iverson takes all the way, forced the issue rather than give it up to Lynch.
Well, Marv, the Toronto Raptors are really going through a tough struggle here. They had every opportunity at the end of that first half to have about a 17 or 18-point lead. They closed out the half very poorly. They've gotten out of sync offensively. And if Philadelphia gets a little spurt here, they're going to be right back in this game, trailing now only by 8.
Iverson is now 6 of 20 from the field. Oakley. So Charles Oakley, 1 for his previous 6, able to knock it down.
Well, Oakley can make that shot, Marv, as you know. He did not get the quality shots that he got on that play in the first half, but he can make that jump shot.
Childs reaching in, looking for the tie-up, but it's a foul. For Chris Childs, that's number 4.
Well, he's an important part of this team because what he enables Alvin Williams to do is play as a shooting guard, and he gives them some flexibility. When he goes out of the game, they lose a lot because now Alvin Williams has to do more ball handling, and then Vince Carter's role changes. He has to play more of the guard position. Del Curry will come into the game. He had a very, very good first half. He was 3 of 6, hit a couple threes, had 8 points off the bench. But Toronto has got to get some composure here on the road offensively especially, and Philadelphia's got to find somebody who can put the ball in the basket.
Quiet game thus far for Childs. 19 minutes, has not scored. 4 fouls, does have 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Mutombo. That line drive jump hook that turned out to be the game winner against the Pacers to wrap up that series. What a sequence that was. The block shot, and then at the other end, he drilled it. 49-41 is an 8-point lead. Iverson, who went out, is about to make his return, and the foul is called as Antonio Davis is hammered by Eric Snow.
When you play against Mutombo, Marv, as Antonio Davis is doing, you've got to stay on the move. When Dikembe can stand back there and zone that basket, he provides so much relief for his team defensively. You can see Antonio Davis very active, going block to block, moving around. He gets the foul, and that's what you have to do against Dikembe. You just can't let him stand back there and just read the game.
Antonio Davis, who has come a long way at the foul line over the years. This is 8th NBA season out of the University of Texas, El Paso. Second year with Toronto after 6 years with Indiana.
It's going to be a loose ball foul on Oakley, so 2 missed free throws. Got a chance to push that lead back to 10. Oakley with a little push off, and you know there's going to be a little agitation after the play with Oakley. He's going to give you a little extra bump. Marvy's going to say something, try to aggravate you a little bit. He's been doing this, 15, 16 years now. That's a delay of game now against Charles Oakley, so the next one a technical.
You had Charles in his early years as a member of the Chicago Bulls. Was he like this as a rookie?
Not quite as vocal. Charles was very shy and just played, but the longer he's been in the league, he will let you know what he thinks. He just stepped out of bounds. Eric Snow, an unforced error. I was standing right here. I watched it. His left foot came right back and stepped out of bounds as he tried to penetrate and go to the basket.
And the 76ers continue to pile up turnovers. That is number 16. They averaged just under 16 per game for the season, and they've already hit that mark. 3 minutes gone by in the third. The Raptors by 8. They've led by as many as 17 as Del Curry continues to hurt the 76ers. He now has 11 points. He is 5 for 7 from the field. That's his third 3 of the day.
Well, when Eric Snow is guarding Del Curry and he gives the basketball up, you got to stay with him and not let him get the ball back.
20-second timeout requested by Lenny Wilkins. So we'll take a break. Raptors now lead by 11. Allen Iverson, who took a poke in the eye, being checked out by the trainer Len Courier. There it is, as he took that inadvertent shot from Alvin Williams.
This guy, 165 pounds, soaking wet. The punishment that he takes, and Marv, what he's able to do in this game really is incredible.
Iverson with the step and a foul.
That's when Allen Iverson really puts the pressure on your team. You want him to shoot jump shots. He was 5 of 17 in the first half, Marv, but he got to the free throw line 8 times. And when he starts getting to the line 14, 16 times, what it does, it puts fouls on your frontline people, enables them to get to the free throw line, make free throws, get their defense back, force Toronto to be a half-court team. So all those things play in the favor of Philadelphia when they can get to that line.
Foul was called on Oakley, who was trying to help out for Charles, his third. Allen Iverson, an 81% free throw shooter. That's 20 points for Iverson. And the 76ers trail 52-43. Here's some pressure being put on the ball. Alvin Williams getting it ahead. Oakley fumbled it. On the turnover, here comes Snow. Lynch. And a loose ball foul on Curry. Good hustle by Hill, who drew that foul.
Well, Larry Brown recognizes his team is very flat. That time he brought his defense up the floor, created a turnover, trying desperately to get something going to get this crowd involved in the game. His team is so flat right now, and I think they're feeling the effects, Marv, of the 3-day layoff, wondering who they were going to play after the Indiana series.
Yes, the Sixers wrapping up the Pacers this past Wednesday in Indianapolis. Iverson was stopped, so they have had the 3 days off between games. Toronto with 1 day of rest after knocking off the Knicks in New York on Friday night. You never know how that will come into play.
Absolutely not. Now, will it be fatigue be a factor? Mutombo with a great block.
Dikembe Mutombo with the block shot. And it pays off. George Lynch with his first field goal.
Game-changing plays, even though it's only the third period.
And the 76ers have tightened up their defense. Here's Carter, lost it. Iverson, 3-on-2. Snow, it's an offensive foul. Oakley taking the hit.
Oh, that's a big-time play by Charles Oakley. Looked like Eric Snow had a clear path to the basket, and Oakley comes right over and steps in front of him. Dikembe Mutombo, when you allow him to get himself and plant himself underneath that basket, there's no way you can score. Here he goes up and blocks a spectacular play on Carter, and then here is Oakley stepping in and taking a charge, and now we have a charge on the other end. So both defenses picking up. The game is getting frenetic, and Marvin, moments like this as a coach, you've got to try to slow your team down offensively. Lenny Wilkins has got to get us some poise back into his team.
Allen Iverson taking the charge, putting foul number 4 on Alvin Williams. 5 minutes gone by in the third, and the Sixers showing some signs. Iverson facing the double, finds the open man. Snow not able to take advantage.
Well, they're going to get the ball out of Iverson's hands, and Snow will have to hit that jump shot.
Carter goes behind the back and is tripped up. And a foul, and a technical foul on George Lynch. So fellow Tar Heel alum George Lynch called for the trip, and then he's teed up.
Well, Carter takes the ball behind his back, and there's a little hip check by George Lynch. He was not happy with the play, and then he gets a technical. Like money in the bank here for Del Curry. So when you got a team, Marv, that's struggling to score, don't give them anything easy. Don't let them see that ball going in the basket. You've got them on their heels right now. You've got your defense set, giving nothing easy.
Carter being played by Lynch, goes to the step back. Yes! Vince Carter with 19. And the Raptors lead by 10. They've led by as many as 17. The Sixers with a good run in the final minutes of the second quarter to get back into it. Iverson. Allen Iverson regaining the touch. He has 22. Raptors 55. The Sixers 47. Here's Williams with the open shot. Carter with the rebound. Carter off the spin. Rebounded by Mutombo, and a foul. Carter over-aggressive and came over the back of Dikembe Mutombo.
Well, these are the shots that Vince Carter hit at money time against the Knicks. He hits a big shot there. Sixers trail by 8.
'76ers, though, coming in as the top seed in the East off the 56 victory season, having their troubles here in the opening game of this best of 7 with the upstart Toronto Raptors, who beat the New York Knicks in 5, concluding matters Friday night at Madison Square Garden. Raptors led by as many as 17. It's now a 7-point lead. Del Curry adds to that lead. Del Curry has 14 points.
Well, Del Curry playing instead of Bo Peterson, who started a lot of games this year, the rookie out of Michigan State. Lenny Wilkins has gone to him, and he has delivered big time right now.
Mutombo. It's a tough angle hook.
Toronto live with that. If they can keep that ball out of Iverson's hands, keep him off the free throw line. Alvin Williams once again just calmly knocking that shot in. It's once again an 11-point lead, so the Raptors withstand that fury, that frenetic pace there where really neither team was getting anything done, and once again back in control.
Here's Aaron McKee over Alvin Williams. Just under 5 remaining in the third quarter. Looked like Williams was shaken up, slow to get up, as Curry fires again.
Somebody better get to him. Now what's happened, they're cross-matched, and what I mean by that is Del Curry is not guarding Eric Snow on every possession, and so Eric Snow's trying to get to him in transition and can't find him soon enough. One and done right now for Philadelphia. When they're shooting outside jump shots, they do not get offensive rebounds, but for Eric Snow back in the paint, you've got to be attached, almost like Velcroed to Del Curry's chest when he's shooting the ball like this, Marv.
7-0 run for the Raptors. 36 years old in his 15th season out of Virginia Tech. Drafted in 1985.
I'll tell you, with the new defenses coming in next year with the zones, he could play 2-3 more years shooting the ball the way he is right now.
Got off to the slow start. Remember, he was hurt at the beginning of the year and did not adjust and did not play much. Aaron McKee. So the Raptors lead 62-50.
Well, you can see that coaches love veteran players in the playoffs. Look at Oakley out there, his experience, Antonio Davis, Del Curry, and then they have 2 young players in the backcourt, Carter and Alvin Williams.
Oakley. Mutombo on the rebound. Snow. Nice move by Eric Snow. That's his first field goal.
Marv, I loved him coming out of college. I really wanted to draft him when I was in Detroit with the 30th pick, but he could not make a shot then, and I was so concerned. And Del Curry doing what he does best, making open shots. He's the difference in the game right now. 6 of 9, 17 points. And he's stepping to the line here to shoot the technical free throw on Allen Iverson. He knocks it down, so 18 points now on 9 shots. Great production, Marv, by Del Curry.
Season high 23, late March in Miami. Earlier in the year, not getting the playing time, or he played during garbage time. He was set back by an injured calf. Was out of shape early on, but picked it up and obviously getting significant time here in the playoffs.
Larry Brown was very upset about something. He was motioning like that was a 20-second timeout. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, I think he wanted a backcourt violation or 10-second violation.
Oh, there's where he was upset, because the Toronto Raptors, very fortunate there. They fell asleep, threw the ball in, only had 1 second. Right. You don't get a new 10-second count. Now, in college you do, not in the NBA. When that clock goes to 14, that's a violation.
Tyronn Hill called on the foul. His third. Vince Carter at the line. The Raptors already over the limit. The Sixers' next foul will put them over. And Vince Carter with his third straight solid performance. Seeking his 21st point.
This should be no surprise, right? Remember now, Toronto won 3 of the 4 regular season games, so they have played very well against Philadelphia. I think they feel they match up very well, and they seem to be very confident right now, Marv, that they can find the offense that's needed.
Iverson off a series of moves against Alvin Williams. So Iverson has 24, but has not shot well. He's 8 for 24 from the field. Pressure by the Sixers with this third quarter winding down. Carter now played by McKee. He had no angle off the spin, and because of that hang time ability, he was able to somehow see the rim.
I'd love to be able to just do that one time, jump in the air like that and just hang and score like that.
Iverson, offensive foul.
Larry Brown is sitting on the bench right now with his hand on his chin like, what can I do? Aaron McKee played great defense. This is just a terrific offensive play. When you can fade like that and Iverson comes down, and who is it again? Charles Oakley stepping in to take the charge. You saw that a lot in New York. He would take the charge, Ewing the shot blocker, so Oakley's done that his entire career.
Charles not shooting the ball well, but has come up with some key plays here in the third quarter. Here's Davis. And the hot shooting continues for the Raptors. They're 45% for the night. Philadelphia just 34% from the field, and it's back to a 15-point lead. It's been a flat performance by the 76ers. Raptors now lead 69-56.
Remember now, Toronto at the end of the second quarter did not finish the quarter well. Let's see if they can do a better job here in the third. Quick shot by Oakley. It's exactly what Philadelphia wants him to do. Get the ball away from Vince Carter. And Dikembe Mutombo, this is a tough shot. It's sort of a slow motion line drive hook, and when he gets it in there, you just got to get your hands up and not foul him. And maybe if he takes those shots, they'll go away from Allen Iverson, and Toronto will live with that.
Coming up on 1 minute remaining in the third. And the foul is called on Lynch, reaching in, trying to knock the ball away. So the Sixers are now over the limit. Lynch with number 4.
And Larry Brown looking for anything that'll work. He now has gone to a small lineup. Aaron McKee, Allen Iverson in the game, Kevin Ollie, and George Lynch is now down playing the power forward position, so going to a small lineup.
Well, a bit of a surprise at Churchill Downs yesterday. Monarchos forever earning himself a place in sports history by winning the Kentucky Derby. And now Monarchos will set his sights on the Preakness as the Visa Triple Crown continues. The Preakness coming to NBC in 2 weeks. That'll be Saturday, May 19th. We're watching the race in San Antonio last night prior to the telecast. Allen Iverson now has 27 as he hits from downtown. I saw you jumping up and down, rooting for Bobby Hurley's Song and a Prayer.
Sort of the story of my life. Get out fast and fade.
Is that it? Raptors now lead 71-59. Backdoor pass broken up by Iverson. Mutombo getting position.
Oh. How did that go in?
He has 11 points. So the 76ers closing impressively here in the third as they did in the second quarter, and Alvin Williams forced into a timeout facing the backcourt trap.
After a technical foul on the defense, you do get a new 10 seconds. The referee explained that to him during a timeout. That's why there was no violation.
Oakley with the inbounds. Love seeing Charles throw it in, chats with the fans, smiles, and then resumes action. Here's Carter with time running down. McKee got a piece of it.
Oh.
Carter able to recover and hit. 1 second remaining in the third. Tyrone Hill fires it high and far, and that's the end of the third quarter. Vince Carter with 25 points as we head to the fourth. The Raptors up by 12. We'll be right back after these words from your local station. You are watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Well, they've got to do it with their defense, and someone's got to be able to get hot. Allen Iverson, 9 of 25 for 27 points in the game. Marv, you look at the scoring by quarter. Toronto has won every quarter, +4, +6, +2. An uphill climb for Philadelphia here.
Remember, the 76ers lost game 1 in the first round of the playoffs to the Indiana Pacers, and then came back in a tough series against Indiana. Trailing right here, they're down by as many as 17. That counts. And the foul. So Dikembe is headed to the line.
When Allen Iverson drives that ball to the basket, look what happens. You bring 2 guys over. Mutombo with a great catch and finish. I do not know how he got that ball in the basket.
Foul on Carter, his third. Outstanding season for Dikembe Mutombo. led the league in rebounding, averaging just under 14. He was 5th in block shots. He has 2 blocks thus far today. Defensive Player of the Year for the 4th time. Won the Citizenship Award for his wonderful work in the Congo. He's donated $3 million to start construction of a $44 million facility, donating $250,000 worth of medical supplies to existing hospitals. 3-point play by Mutombo. And the Raptors now lead 73-64.
If you're Toronto, you know that Philadelphia is going to come at you right now, and you have to answer that with poise, patience, and execution, and above all, get good shots.
Antonio Davis was screened out, and a flagrant foul.
That's not what you need if you are Philadelphia. 2 shots and the ball. This could be a 4-point play. Jermaine Jones reaching in. What a great pass by Carter. You see him just reach in and grab him by the shoulder and pull Oakley down. So, Marv, one thing we've seen in the playoffs, the referees have been very quick to call flagrant fouls. They are not going to allow anything to escalate in these playoffs. He gets him by the shoulder and pulls him immediately down, and Oakley will shoot 2 free throws.
Doug, I would think that Charles Oakley is not the man that you want to commit a flagrant foul against. You know there will be payback down the line.
Absolutely, but I tell you, more importantly, Marv, at this point in time, you're trying to get yourself back into the game. Now you give Oakley 2 free throws, then you give him a new clock, 14 seconds. So all these possessions become vital. When you've been outscored in every quarter, eventually you got to find a way to get some defensive stops as Oakley makes 2 free throws and pushes that lead once again to 11. And after this possession, it's going to be a minute played in this period, so they could actually gain on their lead, and that clock starts now working against the 76ers.
Oakley and Iverson smiling at each other. Allen Iverson had something to say to Charles Oakley, saying something to the effect, "Please leave my boy alone," referring to Jermaine Jones. And the foul is called on McKee.
You see the look of concern on Larry Brown's face. He has not been able to find anything for his team today that can give them any consistent offense. You got to give a lot of credit to the Toronto defense.
Good pressure by Iverson. It will be Toronto ball.
Only 9 seconds on the shot clock. Larry Brown wants his defense up.
Carter handling, facing the double. Oakley wide open for 3. So Charles Oakley does it at the foul line and then hammers down a 3. He has 11, and the Raptors extend to a 14-point bulge.
That's really a 5-point play on that possession with that flagrant foul. You get a 3-pointer and 2 free throws.
Mutombo. Raptors swarming at Dikembe Mutombo, who now has 16 points. It's a 12-point Toronto lead. Charles Oakley with 11 3-pointers all season and able to hit a moment ago. Carter backing his way on the key. Iverson, played by Carter. Oh, nice play, combining with Jones.
Philadelphia crowd begging for something to cheer for. Can they get some stops defensively? Can they get this crowd in the game? Can they get Toronto to play at that frenetic pace where they turn the ball over?
Foul on Iverson, that's his 3rd.
Well, Allen Iverson does a great job, and all eyes go towards Iverson. Del Curry actually playing Jermaine Jones. And what do? You cut right to the basket. The little lob play, and Jermaine Jones with a nice finish.
Chris Childs checking back in. Childs sat down after picking up a 4th foul. Alvin Williams takes a seat. Childs and Curry now in the backcourt. Here's Curry. He comes off the bench and does not lose anything. That's 20 points for Del Curry, who has been sensational here tonight. Curry did see some action in the series against the Knicks, did not play very much during the regular season. Iverson for three. And that hit the top of the backboard, so the ball back to Toronto.
Every time Curry comes in the game and they run those little screens to get him open, you see the bench scoring +10 in the favor of Toronto with Curry having 20 of the points. He loves to come out Mutombo's side. So watch Antonio Davis be the guy who sets the screen and see if he comes out his side, and he's been able to get that jump shot.
Now Snow defending on Carter as they clear it out. Shot clock at 5. Curry from way downtown. Jones for three. Rebound Mutombo. And he's fouled.
Dikembe's really done a nice job today. He's keeping him close, but he can't win this game here by himself. Someone has to give him some help on the offensive end. Well, Dikembe knows the rules, Marv, so well, too, so he knows where he can be defensively back there so he does not get an illegal defensive violation. He reads the defense so well.
Iverson trying to draw the foul on Childs. Davis. And back comes Iverson. Iverson accelerates, trying to go at Childs, and it's put home on the follow by McKee. Aaron McKee, very dangerous down the stretch. That's his time. He's been Mr. Clutch for the Sixers, particularly from downtown. It's a 9-point Raptor lead. They've led by as many as 17. And the foul on McKee.
You know, one thing I've seen with Vince Carter this year, Marv, I don't know if you've seen the same thing, but he appears in the fourth quarter to want to go to the basket a little bit more than he does in the first three quarters. He's going to have to attack. If they want to live by that three-point line of those jump shots, Philly will get back in this game.
And they call that a non-shooting foul. Fourth team foul on the 76ers. Shot clock running down. Childs has to force. So here are the Sixers back in possession within 9. 7.5 to go on the fourth. Lots of time remaining. Iverson going at Childs, and the foul is called.
How quickly a team can get in the penalty in that fourth quarter, especially Philadelphia. Marv, we know they live on that free throw line. The sooner they can get there, you can catch up, the clock stops, you make your free throws, you get your defense up the floor, you pressure.
Coming on, Childs will remain on the floor. Del Curry will sit down. Lenny Wilkins looking for some defense here.
Absolutely, that's a good call. He wants to bring Alvin Williams in the game. Now they'll miss the shooting of Del Curry, but they've got to try to now stop the 76ers from trying to get on a surge.
Oh, Allen Iverson took a poke from Chris Childs. But a tough game physically for Iverson, and that's 6 on Childs. He's fouled out. The fact that he had 5 fouls, and now a technical has been called on Childs, who has had problems with this in the past as a member of the New York Knicks. He will linger, he will argue the call.
This just kills your team. Look at this crowd now. Now you're going to give him a free throw. You can't do these things on the road. You know, Chris Childs knows better than this. He's a veteran basketball player. You get the 6th foul, you got to go to the bench. You see Stan Albeck trying to calm him down a little bit right now, but Chris Childs is a veteran player. He's been in the NBA Finals. He has to use better judgment. His team is in control by 9 right now. You don't want to give him free points, Marv.
And Allen Iverson at the line. He's 8 for 10 at the foul line. The 76ers chipping away. It's down to an 8-point lead now for Toronto.
Right there's the little shot to the face on Allen Iverson. No call there, but he penetrates, gets to the basket, and then gets Childs' 6th foul, who then gets the technical. Del Curry back in the game.
Now the downside with Del Curry is at the defensive end. He's going up against Eric Snow. Here's McKee. Yes! Aaron McKee, who has been thriving in the fourth quarter.
Marv, you call that about the poison play of Aaron McKee hitting big shots.
That's a 3 for McKee. That's a backcourt violation. And the 76ers in the midst of turning things within 5 and in possession. And this crowd very much back into it.
Well, Lenny Wilkins is going to go back to his veteran player, Charles Oakley. Right there you see the foot on the line. Keon Clark will come out of the game. Well, Lenny Wilkins looking for the experience. And look what this crowd is doing right now. They are in the game. Still 6 minutes plus left in this game. Almost 7 minutes in the game.
The 76ers on an 11-2 run. They were down by 14 at the start of this quarter. Oakley with the rebound. So Toronto now has Alvin Williams and Del Curry in the backcourt. Vince Carter is up front with Antonio Davis and Charles Oakley.
Now we saw Toronto be able to take this charge from New York in Game 5 and win the game. Can they do it once again today?
Well, Carter with a nice move.
But again, he goes to the basket. Remember how maybe early in the game he would settle with that jumper? This time driving the ball to the basket. That's a big basket, and that's what he did in New York the other night when they were making the push. He came up with the big plays.
27 for Carter. Mutombo establishing position. Illegal defense called on the Raptors. Well, that's been the norm for Allen Iverson. 28 points on 28 shots, but not a good shooting performance. 9 for 28. Vince Carter with 27 points. It's a 7-point Raptor lead. Just under 6 remaining in this fourth quarter. Here's Iverson. Iverson, though, has come on in fourth quarters. He's picked up his shooting, and that has held true throughout the season.
Well, somebody's got to come over and give some help. You can't let Iverson drive from the wing and lay the ball in the basket at this stage of the game.
Toronto's lead is down to 5. Antonio Davis working hard, and it's deflected out by Oakley.
Well, basketball is such a game of inches. It looked like Antonio Davis's shot might go in the basket. Marv, look at this. One dribble, he picks it up. Where is the help? This is the leading scorer in the NBA. You've got to make him pass the ball.
Del Curry called for the foul. Eric Snow beating him on the cut.
Will the free throw line be the difference in the game?
This Childs, who fouled out moments ago and then was tagged with a technical, that may have been a turning point for the Philadelphia 76ers. Raptors by 3, coming up on 5 remaining in the fourth. Oh, Iverson on the steal from Oakley. Hill not able to handle the pass.
Allen Iverson did everything on that play except lay the ball in the basket for Tyrone Hill. It's like, here you are, partner. It just wasn't ready for it. That's a big turnover. That would have made it a 1-point game.
Curry was looking for the screen. Here's Curry on another quick release. McKee for Iverson. Look out. Curry is back. Iverson not able to put the reverse down. And it will be Toronto ball. So 2 excellent opportunities for the 76ers, but they could not convert.
Vince Carter now has got to come get this basketball. They have got to show some poise and go through Carter. If they double team him, have him find an open shooter. He has not touched the ball in the last 3 possessions.
How about these numbers, Doug? Philadelphia 12 steals. Iverson has 6 of the 12.
Now they have it in the middle of the floor. He can operate from there and get something good for his team.
Toronto maintains possession. Carter thought that he was fouled. 7 on the shot clock. And 4:28 remaining in the fourth. This is game 1 of the best of 7, the finale of our playoff triple header. Carter, yes, and it counts. Another sensational move by Vince Carter. Foul on Snow. And Carter gives the Raptors an 85-79 lead. You get the idea, Doug, that Vince Carter is beginning to reestablish what he lost, did not have a good run in the Olympics in terms of the way he handled things. And I think the luster wore off during the season, although he's certainly one of the the great players in the league, but the image lost a bit.
I think so, and I think he gained a lot of respect, not only from his teammate, but the NBA. The last 2 games he played in New York, he has another opportunity to close this game out and give his team a big road win and take the home court back.
Here's Carter over McKee. Sixers on it. McKee flips it down. Iverson fouled by Carter.
It's a great hustle play by Antonio Davis. Alvin Williams cannot come up with the ball. This is the 3rd opportunity we've seen the Sixers have on the fast break. Marv, you made a great call. They blew 2 earlier opportunities to cut it to 1. This time Iverson will get to the free throw line.
And that's 5 fouls on Carter. Iverson is 9 for 11 at the line. Allen Iverson just 1 for 5 from the field in the 4th quarter, where he usually picks it up. Now Lynch is back replacing McKee. And this is a defensive maneuver by Larry Brown, although Aaron McKee is a good defensive player, but likes this matchup a bit more than having McKee on the floor.
Well, Vince Carter has to be very careful now. He has 5 fouls, so when he drives to the basket, an offensive foul takes him out of the game, so he has to be very, very smart.
Oakley, crowd looking for the travel. Oh, Mutombo with another block. And it's kicked into the backcourt. It will be Sixer ball. Dikembe Mutombo with his 3rd block shot.
Well, Antonio Davis was very upset. When he went for that loose ball, he thought he was grabbed on the arm. If he would have, it would have been 2 free throws. But again, when Mutombo was underneath this basket, it's virtually impossible to try to score against him.
Philadelphia in possession, trailing by 5, 3:20 remaining. In the 4th, you see McKee is back on the floor. Iverson splitting through. Kept alive by Lynch. Oh, that's a goaltend on Antonio Davis.
Vince Carter has to be very careful. Aaron McKee going at him to try to get the 6th. Here's Antonio Davis goaltending the shot. Poise is the word right now for Toronto. Can they come through on the road here in Philadelphia, game 1, and take the advantage in this series?
Alvin Williams getting the step and the bucket. Friendly rim for Williams, who has 13. He's come up with another solid performance.
And he's a big-time player in the 4th quarter, Marv. That's usually when he scores the majority of his points.
McKee going at Carter, who has the 5. Aaron McKee again.
Well, on Tuesday, the 6th man award will be given out, and he right now would be the leading candidate for that.
Pressure by the Sixers, and they drop back. McKee nearly picked it off. The Raptors now lead 89-84. Light pressure being shown by Toronto as we approach 2 minutes remaining in the 4th. Iverson for 3. Allen Iverson struggling here in the 3rd quarter, has not shot well overall. He's 10 for 33, and he's 1 of 8 in the 4th quarter, I should say.
Well, on the season, he's a 32% three-point shooter. I just think he puts the pressure on the defense rather than shoot that 3. Now here again, if you're going to get the foul, now Vince Carter will go to the line. So the difference here in the last couple possessions is Toronto has been able to attack, get to the free throw line. On the other hand, Philadelphia's taken tough jump shots, got nothing out of it. And that's been the difference right now. That free throw line in the 4th period is critical.
Foul was called on McKee.
Marvin, you watch Vince Carter here shoot. Watch how he doesn't get up on his toes a lot on his free throw. He shoots a lot of upper body.
After missing his first, shooting again.
Well, Toronto, regardless win or lose, will go home tonight after the game. They will not stay here in Philadelphia. So what a nice flight it would be back for them to get this victory today.
Raptors up by 6. Snow passed on the 3 and took it to the rim. It's a 4-point Toronto lead with 1:35 remaining. Oh, Curry did not want to handle the ball, and that cost. Oh, beautiful exchange. George George Lynch puts it down. You can see Del Curry did not want the basketball.
Well, and you got now with Chris Childs fouled out, who's going to handle the basketball? They're going to put it in the hands of Vince Carter to go against Aaron McKee.
It's a 2-point game. A minute 15 remaining in the fourth. Here's Carter. Rebounded. No, Davis stripped Mutombo. Mutombo had it, and he lost it. Raptors trying to use some clock now with just under 1 minute to go in the fourth. Carter double teamed. Shot clock at 6. Oakley, yes! Charles Oakley with a clutch jumper. And the Raptors now lead 92-88. Make it 12 straight wins. Milwaukee knocking off Charlotte earlier, 104-92. We're down to 45 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Raptors lead by 4. Here's Snow. That was deflected short.
You must make Eric Snow shoot a jump shot. You can't let him beat you off the dribble if you give him 6 or 8 feet cushion.
Down to 14 on the shot clock. Iverson. Williams fell down. Iverson is fouled.
It's a 2-point game. There's a 10.5-second differential. You know you're going to get the ball back. Make the 2 free throws. Get yourself a stop. You got a chance to tie the game.
Iverson. Now 11 of 14 at the line. That foul on Oakley, his 4th. Both teams have been over the limit for some time.
Marv, who's going to handle the ball here now? With Childs out, you know they're going to try to throw it to Curry. They're going to go at Alvin Williams and force him to give this basketball up. Finally in the hands of Vince Carter.
Raptors by 2, 25 seconds remaining in the fourth. There's a 10-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. It's all Vince Carter. And Carter with the shot. Carter with the tip. You may recall last year against the Knicks, Carter did not take that shot down the stretch. Iverson for 3. Allen Iverson from downtown. It's back to a 1-point game. Down to 6 seconds, and McKee gives the foul on Carter.
If he misses that shot, the game is over. Now you've got to make 2 free throws, and Philadelphia's still got a chance to tie the game. A lot of game left to be played here.
Carter 77% foul shooter, 6 of 7 tonight. Missed one a moment ago. It's now a 2-point lead for the Raptors. The 76ers do have a timeout left, as do the Raptors. 5 and 8/10 seconds remaining. Carter hits both.
Well, Vince Carter has been a man at the end of the games, the last 3 games especially, the 2 against New York today. The second effort, quick off his feet to tip the ball in. That gives him a 4-point lead. Iverson hits the 3-pointer to make it a 1-point game, and then Carter follows it back up with 2 free throws and a 3-point lead. Now, Marv, Philadelphia out of timeouts right now. If they can force, Toronto can force Philadelphia to use a little clock and you take a foul, you force Philadelphia to make the first free throw, miss the second one, get the rebound, and score. That's 4 things that has to happen for you, as opposed to if you don't take the foul and they hit a 3, only 1 good thing has to happen to send it into overtime. Let's see what Toronto decides to do here.
Would you do that? You give the foul?
If I could get him using some clock, I would take the foul.
The backfire would be that second free throw missed on purpose, and they hit a 3.
Right. I mean, you would that, but that's a lot of things that have happened.
Or 2, obviously, to tie. So the coach is really putting himself on the spot for a backfire. But as you say, it's a long shot. Snow will throw in. 5 and 8/10 seconds remaining. McKee looking for 3, and that will do it. The Toronto Raptors, after stunning the New York Knicks Friday night at Madison Square Garden, defeat the Philadelphia 76ers in Game 1 of the best of 7. Vince Carter comes up big for the 3rd straight game, and Doug, these are defining moments in the 3-year career of Vince Carter.
These are how stars are made. Under pressure, in the playoffs, on the road. 3 road games now, wins for Toronto early in the playoffs. A franchise 20 road wins in the regular season, playing great win.
Vince Carter, eliminating any doubts about his ability to elevate his game in the playoffs, scored 35 points, and the Raptors took Game 1 in Philadelphia 96-93. Toronto would also enjoy an unexpected lift from veteran Del Curry, who had been cold during the New York series, but would come off the bench to provide 20 points, including 4 three-pointers. The key to this game, however, was defense. While Allen Iverson turned in an all-round performance with 36 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 steals, Toronto held him to a miserable shooting percentage. Iverson would make only 11 of 34 shots. The Raptors had won 3 straight playoff games and looked to go ahead 2-0 in a series for the first time.